Hello, happy Thursday. Again, my name is Thais Knight. I am a wedding planner and the owner of Miracle Rose Events, and I enjoy working with fun and friendly couples to help them plan the wedding day of their dreams. A wedding day that is stylish and colorful and pretty and exciting and full of joyful moments. And I am here today for my Ask Thais feature of the week. And today we're going to be talking all about DIY projects for your wedding. I was reading in this latest issue of Bride and Groom Washingtonian. This is the summer/fall 2016 issue. And there is an article called The Real Deal on DIY. So I was checking that out. And it got me to thinking maybe I should talk about DIY projects because when we're planning out our wedding and we're looking at the budget and, we're finally realizing how much things cost because weddings can add up very quickly and they can get very expensive. Sometimes we may think, oh, well, I can probably do that myself. I can make these centerpieces myself. I can bake that cake myself. I can make these favors myself and I can save a little bit of a coin, right? Sometimes it's right, absolutely. But there are certain things that, in my opinion, you should probably leave to the experts. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. What's great about DIY projects? Is it worth the time? Does it really save you money? Anytime you have any questions, if you want to put those questions in the comments, I'll be happy to answer those questions for you. If you're going to watch this in the replay, still post your comments. I'll be happy to pop on and answer those questions again for you, or to comment directly and answer any questions that you have about DIY projects that you might be thinking about. So I really love DIY projects. This picture on here for the article is a picture of a project. Looks like they were making some little place cards. I think DIY projects can add a really personal, unique, heartfelt touch to your wedding. So one thing I think you need to consider before you take on a DIY project, is this going to add that special touch to my wedding? Is it something personal? Is it something that's unique? Is it something that can't really be created by someone else that's not me or not my fiance or not involved in my family or my wedding? Couple of things to think about before you get into a DIY project. Is this something that you are either familiar with or maybe you've done before? For example, if you've done some floral arranging before, if you're a florist and you decide, well, I'm gonna make my own centerpiece, I'm gonna pick the flowers, I'm gonna pick the vases, I'm gonna make my own centerpieces. Great. If you're familiar with it and you know what it takes, you know how much it's going to cost, you know what, you have some materials that you can use to create it, by all means, please do that yourself. If this is something completely new to you that you have not done before, I would think twice about that. Think about, things that you have to buy, how much it's going to cost. You have to think about those things before you just jump into this project. I love calligraphy. It's really pretty. On the outside, it seems like it might be some simple, just handwriting, pretty handwriting, but it's not. It's not as easy as you think. So take the time to think about what all goes into creating that project before you jump into that. Also, do you realistically have the time to complete this DIY project for your wedding? In the article, I read that one of the couples that was profiled in here that did a DIY project, one of the couples, I believe it was the groom's mother, was a baker, and they decided for their wedding that they were going to have some cookie favors. So she spent months baking 2,000 cookies and freezing them for the wedding. Now, that worked out great. They had someone who was familiar with that. She was a baker. She had months to plan it out. She already had all the materials she needed for it. So that works out. You hit the trifecta. You pass the litmus test. That makes sense. Now, if you are planning to do some type of project that requires it to be done on the day of, i.e. flowers, flowers is not something that you can do well ahead of time unless they're fake flowers. Fake flowers, go right ahead. If it's real flowers and you know that you're having a wedding with 20 tables, when are you going to have time on your wedding day to make 20 fresh floral arrangements? These are things you have to think about before you jump into that DIY project. Another thing, food. Typically, I am against doing DIY food for a wedding day. It's time consuming. Most of the stuff you cannot do ahead of time. Anything that involves you having to do a big project during the week of your wedding, you can just exit out. Put it on your not gonna happen list. It's time consuming. It can cost a lot more than you think. You cannot do it alone, so that means you'll need help. I don't think you want yourself, your bridesmaids, and your parents cooking on your wedding day. That's not what they should be doing. You know, I know your family and friends are there to help, but they should be attending to you on your wedding day. You should be taking pictures. Your mom should be wiping away your tears as you're crying while you're watching yourself in the mirror, getting dressed, putting on your veil. Not frying 50 pans of chicken and making 20 pounds of potato salad. Like, no. So definitely think about it. Do you realistically have the time to get it done? Anything that can be done months in advance and kind of tucked away into the wedding day, that's a great DIY project, and it probably will save you a lot of money. Something like a favor that can be easily stored. A lot of times favors get kind of left behind when you're talking about your budget. All the big stuff gets done first. Your catering, your dress, the rings, all that stuff gets done first. And the favors kind of get forgotten about. They're way down on the wedding timeline until like 2 months before. So maybe you might not have as much money left and you decide to do something yourself. I think favors are a great way to go if you're going to DIY something. And also in this article, they profiled a couple who loves hot sauce. They always make their own hot sauce, and they have tons of hot sauce in their kitchen. So for their wedding favor, they decided to make little mini bottles of hot sauce to give out to people. It's great. It's personal. It's unique. It's something that you can do way ahead of time and kind of store it. And yes, it probably will save them a lot of money to do a little hot sauce favor. Again, you met the litmus test for that. Also think about, is it really going to save you money and give you the results that you're looking for? So there's some projects you may take on and you will save a lot of money. For example, let me think of an example. A popular wedding trend they have right now are these flower walls. These walls that you can put up at a ceremony as a backdrop that are filled with tons of gorgeous blooms. Let me tell you, if you get that from a florist, it's going to be expensive. So maybe you think, I can just buy some flowers from Giant or Safeway and kind of do it myself. You probably could. But have you made a flower wall before? No. Are you a florist? Is it going to give you the results that you're looking for? You're going to go out and spend the money to buy the materials to make this floral wall. You've never done it before. You can't do it if you're using fresh flowers until the day before or the day of. Is it really going to give you the results that you're looking for? It's pointless to try to save money doing a DIY project if it's not really going to give you what you're looking for. There was another example in the article in the Bride and Groom Washingtonian of a bride that had very specific ideas about her rustic outdoor wedding. And she didn't think that anyone else that she could hire would be able to produce those results for her. So she went all in. She did her research. She got her materials. And she got everything done. And it was exactly the way she wanted it to. If you think that's you, if that's something that you don't think that anyone else, you can trust anyone else to get it done the way you want it to be done, go right ahead. If you have the time, if you have the money to get all the materials together that you need, then that works for you. Absolutely. So those are the 3 things basically that I believe that you should think about before you dive into a DIY project. Just as a review, is this something that you've done before or you're familiar with? Do you realistically have the time to get it done before the wedding? Well, in advance of the wedding. Nothing that has to be done the week of. No. Is it really going to save you money and give you the results that you're looking for? Those are the three things that I want you to ask yourself before you dive into a DIY project for your wedding. Trust me, it's going to save you so much time. It's going to save you so much heartache if you think about those things before you get into that DIY project. So I hope that this was helpful for you today. If you're going to watch this later on, please still leave me a comment. Let me know if you're thinking about a DIY project. You're like, hey, Thais, what do you think about this DIY project? Let me know. I'm more than happy to answer those questions for you. If you'd like to get notifications when I go on live, you can click that button that's at the bottom to get notifications when I go live on Thursdays. And I do occasionally go on throughout the week to give you some helpful, juicy wedding planning tips. If you'd like some more information, if you are newly engaged, first of all, congratulations to you. You can sign up to receive a checklist of 5 things that you need to do first when you start planning your wedding. If you want to get that free checklist and sign up for my email list, at the top of my Facebook page, there is a sign up button. You can go ahead and click that and get all the juicy details. So thank you so much for joining me today. I was so happy to see you, and I hope to see you next week on Ask Thais Live. Leave me a note or a comment about what you want to hear about next week. Thanks, and have a great night.